Along the muddy shoreline, a single misstep can erase every advantage gained on land. The sound of splashing water awakens the crocodile's ancient instincts. The crushing power of its 1,000-pound body and powerful jaws is enough to throw any careless challenger off balance. In this swampy kingdom, the crocodile is the most formidable force beneath the water's surface. Across the kingdom of the land, the lion is known as the king of the savanna, ruling the grasslands with strength and confidence. In the murky river, however, that authority is challenged by the Nile crocodile. When these two apex predators meet, the boundary between their worlds becomes a test of survival. Tension rises in the shallow water, where both species are drawn by food gathering near the shoreline. As the male lion closes in on its target, the water suddenly falls unnaturally still. In an instant, the crocodile launches a powerful jaw strike, forcing the lion to retreat, climb back onto the bank, while the crocodile secures the food. The situation becomes even more dangerous when the pride must swim across deep river channels. The lion's 420-pound body becomes slower and loses much of its agility in the water. Although the entire pride remains alert, the slower swimming pace of a cub creates an opening for the hidden ambush. When the crocodile closes in through the murky water, almost every rescue attempt comes too late. Encounters between crocodiles and lions occur regularly along many of Africa's major rivers. The lion's courage is beyond question. Yet in the water, the crocodile holds the advantage, and survival belongs to the one that knows its domain best. Nile crocodiles and hippos share the same aquatic habitat, creating a neighborhood defined by constant tension and a complex relationship. Living in the same river, both species are highly territorial and fiercely protect their own space. Hippos often rely on their massive bodies, weighing around 4,000 pounds, along with their assertive behavior to intimidate and dominate crocodiles. Over the years, this ongoing rivalry places crocodiles under constant pressure both on land and in the water. Groups of hippos frequently disrupt hunting attempts, causing their rivals to lose valuable feeding opportunities. When isolated among a pod of hippos, even this powerful freshwater predator can be overwhelmed by their combined strength. Over time, that pressure becomes an instinctive caution whenever crocodiles share the same river. However, the balance of power shifts when a young hippo becomes separated from its mother in an isolated stretch of water. Its inexperience and lack of protection unexpectedly trigger the crocodile's instinct to seize a rare feeding opportunity. A swift attack follows, allowing the crocodile to reaffirm its role as one of the river's top predators. In addition, this reptile also benefits from food provided by aging hippos that naturally collapse or can no longer survive. By making use of these food sources, crocodiles help clear the river and reduce the buildup of organic waste. Far from the rivers of Africa, Brazil's Pantanal unfolds as a vast maze of waterways where reed beds and wetlands merge into one landscape. Here, the Yacaré caiman dominates the region's extensive aquatic ecosystems. Measuring about 8 feet long and weighing nearly 120 pounds, it remains hidden beneath dark mud along flooded pathways. Yet its dominance is constantly challenged by the jaguar, a powerful big cat weighing around 200 pounds with remarkable close-range strength. From the dense vegetation, the stealthy predator approaches in silence, waiting for the perfect distance before making its move. The constant risk of an attack from the riverbank has driven the caiman to develop exceptionally fast reflexes through evolution. When the jaguar bursts from the reeds, the water instantly becomes the center of an intense struggle for survival. Facing immediate danger, the caiman sweeps its muscular tail through the water to disrupt the predator's approach. If its defensive snap succeeds in creating enough distance, the jaguar often retreats to search for a safer hunting opportunity. Otherwise, even a single mistake beneath the deep water can cost the caiman its life. The Pantanal grants no permanent crown to any species. There, survival belongs to the one that best understands the rhythm of the water, the shoreline, and an opponent's moment of miscalculation. In the wild, antelopes are symbols of speed and constant vigilance. With their lightweight bodies and powerful legs, they can sprint at speeds of around 55 miles per hour to leave danger behind. Yet as they approach the water's edge, that advantage begins to fade because of slippery ground and reduced visibility. When the dry season arrives, major rivers shrink, making the paths down to the water steeper and more hazardous. These riverbanks serve as both a vital water source and an ideal ambush site for the Nile crocodile. The swamp predator patiently conceals itself among vegetation and mud, waiting for thirst to draw its prey within reach. Tension rises as temperatures approach 100 degrees Fahrenheit, leaving antelopes dehydrated and forcing them toward the river. Meanwhile, the crocodile has absorbed enough warmth from the sun, allowing its muscles to reach peak performance. A single misstep into deeper water can instantly erase every advantage of speed on land. A successful hunt provides the crocodile with the nourishment needed to recover after previous unsuccessful attempts. An impala or a waterbuck weighing around 500 pounds provides a substantial source of protein. That meal can sustain a crocodile for many weeks or even an entire month during the harsh dry season. Unlike other big cats that compete to assert dominance, the cheetah does not approach the water's edge to display its strength. It is the supreme athlete of the open plains, capable of accelerating to nearly 70 miles per hour within seconds. Yet in the Okavango, even this master of speed approaches the riverside trails with caution. Hidden beneath the murky water, the crocodile patiently waits for the slightest vibration. As 3 cheetahs lower their heads to drink, the calm surface is suddenly broken by a swift burst from below. Faced with jaws capable of generating about 3,700 pounds per square inch of bite force, their natural reflexes allow them to spring clear of danger by only a few inches. Even so, at another bend in the river, one cheetah fails to maintain a safe distance. That single moment of misjudgment costs it the advantage against the power of the crocodile and the conditions of the water. From that moment on, the riverbank becomes more than a place to drink, as it stands as a lasting lesson in speed, instinct, and constant vigilance. Crocodiles do more than hunt prey or confront intruders from the riverbank. Within the river itself, they also compete with one another for sunning sites, access points to the shore, and feeding areas. Large males usually control the most favorable stretches of the river, where dominance is maintained through strength. As the breeding season approaches, mature males become highly aggressive. They repeatedly lash their tails across the water to signal territorial ownership. If a rival crosses the boundary, an internal confrontation begins to re-establish the natural order. During the dry season, rivers gradually shrink into isolated muddy pools. Hundreds of crocodiles are forced into confined spaces where food becomes increasingly scarce. As cold-blooded reptiles, crocodiles can survive for months without eating, yet those harsh conditions place them under intense pressure. As food resources decline, larger crocodiles may prey on smaller or weaker individuals to survive the period of scarcity. This behavior is more than simple competition, as it also serves as a natural process of population regulation. Through this process, the population maintains its social order, strong genetic traits, and long-term ecological balance. Each year during the Great Migration, wildebeest surge toward the rivers of the Serengeti like a living waterfall. Each adult weighs nearly 550 pounds, and when thousands of bodies press together, the force is powerful enough to make the ground tremble. Yet, as they reach the edge of the deep water, their relentless advance slows, because Nile crocodiles have been waiting beneath the surface for months. As the leading animals plunge into the river, chaos immediately erupts. The fast-moving current, flowing at speeds of up to 10 miles per hour, combined with the pressure from the herd behind them, quickly breaks apart their formation. The crocodiles need only wait for the right opportunity. With the most powerful bite force in the animal kingdom, a crocodile secures its prey before it can break free. Despite the dangers beneath the rushing water, the river crossing continues. Wave after wave, the herd presses forward toward the opposite bank. In the Serengeti, they move forward not because they are fearless, but because the path ahead is the only one that can ensure the survival of the next generation. The approach does not begin with a hidden plan. Hyenas split directions, stay close, and force the prey to constantly change its path. Each individual holds position, turning confusion into an advantage for the entire group. Any newcomer seeking a share must also hesitate before jaws ready to respond. On the savanna, strategy paves the way for strength. Within the savanna ecosystem, the relationship between spotted hyenas and leopards is a tense competition for survival. The leopard is a solitary predator, known for its silence, precision, and control of space. Its remarkable adaptation allows it to drag prey, weighing over 150 pounds, up into tree branches around 20 feet high to secure ownership of its resources. Yet that elevated zone of safety is never entirely guaranteed. The keen sense of smell of spotted hyenas can detect food traces carried on even the slightest breeze. Once the signal spreads through the group, they move continuously, following the scent to find an opportunity to close in. As soon as a leopard makes a successful hunt and prepares to lift its catch into a tree, pressure builds rapidly. 3 to 5 hyenas spread out, narrowing the angles and forcing the leopard to react within seconds. Facing both numerical pressure and a powerful bite force, the leopard must commit all its energy to climbing quickly to higher ground. The prey is often left behind on the ground, becoming a reward for the hyena clan. At times, driven by hunger, the experienced hunter may respond with firm warning actions. Younger hyenas pull back, creating a brief and fragile balance between both sides. Even so, the leopard's individual skill can sometimes yield to the positional discipline and collective pressure of the hyena clan. In the wild, taking risks always comes with a significant cost. If hyenas represent the discipline of the pack, lions embody individual strength on the savanna. An adult male lion can weigh around 500 pounds, far exceeding most spotted hyenas at roughly 180 pounds. Yet between these long-standing rivals, size alone does not determine the outcome. Each encounter depends on numbers and psychological limits, where collective pressure continuously tests the resolve of the grassland's dominant predator. When a food source appears, a male lion steps out from the brush and moves forward with purpose. Massive shoulder muscles and a bite force estimated at around 650 pounds per square inch immediately create a clear mechanical advantage. The space opens up as several hyenas on the outer edge step back to maintain distance. When a weaker individual is restrained, a direct confrontation becomes highly unfavorable for the hyenas. The balance shifts when a younger lion becomes separated from its group in open ground. Calls from hyenas carry for miles, drawing in more individuals and turning caution into a tightening circle. They divide directions and take turns moving closer, forcing the lion to constantly turn and defend. When the situation reaches 4 against 1, collective pressure places the stronger animal at a disadvantage, and the lion is eventually forced to withdraw. On the savanna, the one that controls distance often controls the encounter. As a result, lion meals are frequently contested by resourceful hyena clans. While a lion can overpower a hyena in a direct clash, it struggles to withstand the sustained pressure of a large group and their persistent psychological tactics. Across the Serengeti grasslands, the topi lives in a constant state of readiness. Long legs, lean muscle, and speeds exceeding 50 miles per hour allow it to maintain distance from many threats. But across this vast landscape, speed only matters when awareness is uninterrupted. Spotted hyenas wait patiently for that exact moment. As midday temperatures approach 90 degrees Fahrenheit, an adult topi moves into the shade to ease the heat. From the distant low grass, hyenas track every subtle change in its posture. At the slightest sudden movement, the topi reacts instantly, rising, lowering its head, and using its horns to create space. It surges across the dry ground, relying on speed to break away from the growing pressure behind it. The hyenas follow closely, maintaining steady pressure until the target gradually loses its advantage. The close of this cycle leaves no visible trace of conflict, only a quiet transfer of energy. That cycle continues to sustain the endless rhythm of the wild. In that balance, hyenas are not only scavengers, but also persistent hunters. Across Africa, hyenas appear as tireless shadows of the savanna. With powerful jaws, they can break through hard bone material to access nutrients. This species lives in a matriarchal system, with groups that can number several dozen individuals. A keen sense of smell and strong tracking ability allow them to pursue targets with high efficiency. By clearing away remains left behind, they help maintain balance within the ecosystem. At dawn, across the low grasslands, the elephant appears like a living memory of the savanna. An adult African elephant can weigh over 12,000 pounds and stand more than 10 feet at the shoulder. When unease is sensed, the herd closes ranks, placing the calves safely at the center. Against such a structure, hyenas rarely choose direct confrontation. They remain at the edge of distance, reading the wind and observing movement patterns, focusing only when a calf becomes separated from the group. But that advantage is brief. With just a turn and a few steps forward from an adult female, the entire test ends immediately. For this reason, the connection between hyenas and elephants is not only defined by encounters, but also by what follows. When an elephant falls due to age or illness, hyenas become one of the most efficient recyclers of the savanna, returning energy back to the land. In nature, some forms of strength are not meant to dominate, but to remind others of their limits. Across the dry grasslands, the rhinoceros appears like an immovable fortress. Weighing over 4,000 pounds, with thick skin and a sharp horn nearly 3 feet long, it becomes a powerful deterrent. A single forceful charge is enough to make even top predators maintain a safe distance. Yet hyenas, driven by a relentless instinct, continue to search patiently for variables within this solid defense. They deploy a dispersed strategy to probe an adult rhinoceros, but these close approaches are only brief tests to measure distance and risk limits. When the rhino surges forward, kicking up dust with heavy strides, the clan finds it difficult to sustain pressure. Their optimal target becomes the vulnerable calf that stays close under the protection of its mother. The mother rhino constantly pivots, lowers its horn, and blocks every direction of approach, turning its massive body into a final barrier against the predators. But the hyenas do not rush. They spread out, take turns moving in, pull back, and then press again from multiple directions. After hours of tension, the distance between mother and calf gradually widens, leaving the young one struggling to keep pace within the shifting circle. The savanna slowly returns to its familiar stillness. On the Serengeti, the wildebeest stands as a symbol of endurance across vast migration routes. An adult can weigh over 450 pounds, with powerful shoulder muscles, strong strides, and forward-curving horns. Against such formidable targets, spotted hyenas do not rely on a single individual. They observe, maintain contact, and coordinate to identify weak points within the formation. The tension rises during the dry season as the hyena clan initiates a psychological strategy, moving in directly to trigger large-scale confusion. The pace intensifies rapidly when they isolate a single target at a distance of just a few feet. A prolonged chase forces the wildebeest to swing its horns repeatedly in search of an escape path. Yet the clan's persistent encirclement steadily limits every option for recovery. In another scenario during peak migration, hyenas focus on the edges of the herd, searching for young individuals that fall behind. This is when the grassland witnesses a remarkable display of maternal instinct, as a newborn, trailing miles behind the group, becomes vulnerable. Facing immediate danger, the mother suddenly turns back and charges straight into the risk zone to create an opening for her calf. Pack coordination allows hyenas to recognize the right moment to close in, but the final outcome depends entirely on the endurance of each individual. In the end, the water remains as unpredictable and dangerous as ever. The crocodile slowly disappears beneath the cold, muddy surface, as though it has never revealed its true strength. The encounter is a reminder that in deep rivers, a single movement can change the entire outcome. Yet this is only the beginning of even more remarkable hunting encounters to come. If you would like to keep watching, please like and subscribe today.